Hey guys, welcome to another video. This time it's a story time about my least favorite and most favorite camping experiences. It's gonna be relaxing, so I hope you enjoy. Also, we are on the WeBe Nation server on the factions. I'm gonna be moving around some stuff in the background, so don't mind me. Just sit back, relax, and let your imagination flow. So first of all, we're going to talk about my least favorite experience, because naturally, let's start with the bad news so we can get to the good news. So my least favorite experiences are, well, first we'll start with a simple one, and that was one time where we forgot to put a proper covering over our tent, and basically it filled up with water, and most of my clothes got soaked because the corner filled up with water, and that's where my bag of clothes was, and yeah. So, you know, it took like a day or whatever to get all that dried out, and then they were all like crinkly and weird for like the rest of the time, but you know, hey, that's fine. I learned from my mistake. Yes, indeed. Lessons were learned. Good stuff. Okay, moving on. So the next least favorite experience was definitely the time when I was, first of all, I was sick, and then I was out in a tent that someone forgot to put the stakes in. I don't know if maybe I was supposed to do that, or if they were, or I don't know, something didn't happen, and the result was no stakes being in the tent, and I was basically staying in the tent alone with all my stuff, and then it rained, and there was not proper covering either, so I was in a tent, and at 3 in the morning, and I'm sick, and all of a sudden the tent is touching my face, and I mean, we're not talking like a little rain, like a little sprinkle, we're talking basically that. It was a big old storm, like big old storm. Anyway, yes, so the story continues. Basically, the tent was, you know, touching my face and that, and I started realizing it's kind of filling up the tent with water, and I'm like, oh, I've been in this situation before. So I started piling all my stuff in the center of the tent, and I was sick, and it was not fun, and I was kind of just laying on my stuff in the center of the tent. And you'd think that it couldn't get worse when all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom. And I don't remember what the reason was, if I wasn't feeling well or if I just needed to go to the bathroom, something. I had to go to the bathroom, okay? I had a fever, it was nasty, and it was raining. Thankfully, the rain kind of let off a little bit, so I was like, you know, there we go, finally. And that made things a little easier, but man, I did not enjoy that night. That camping, the rest of the camp was pretty good, you know, but that night, not a good camping experience. Yes, would not do again. Okay, yeah. So now that that's over, let's move on to our good camping experiences. So obviously my favorite camping experience, I mean, it's slightly cheating because it's really, I mean, it was a cabin, but oh, come on, I mean, surely it counts somewhat, right? You know, kind of ish. I mean, I've had a lot of good camping experiences in just tents, you know, good stuff, but this was the best one, even though it was a cabin. We'll let it slide, right? Anyway, so basically, we went to Yellowstone. Yes, if you guys don't know what Yellowstone is, it is like a volcanic kind of area in Wyoming, which ironically is where I was born. And you probably didn't know that, so now you know. Anyway, so we went there, and they're famous for all these different geysers and stuff that they have. It's pretty cool. So we stayed in this cabin. I think wasn't there like a bear or something like the night before? I don't know. But then there was like moose or moosters. I don't know how you say many mooses. Meister. There was moose. Okay, there was moose. Anyway, so there was moose, and there was bear and deer and elk and a lot of cool stuff that we saw. But it was awesome because like we stayed in these cool cabins, and then it was like in the morning you had to go, and it was like within walking distance. Our cabin was in walking distance of the main like convention center area, so we went in there. I don't remember if there was like coffee or like hot cocoa or something and orange juice. I don't remember, but we went in there, and then we're like right across like like you can literally look out the window, you can see Old Faithful. So if you don't know what Old Faithful is, like this geyser that every like 72 minutes or something goes off. So it's like faithful. So we got to see that go off. It was really cool. We went all the way. We had to walk, you know, there's these like wooden walk things. You got to walk all over the place. And it's pretty awesome. Here's a couple pictures. Yes, yes, yes. Of these cool things that we got to see. These like hot water things and geysers. It was really cool. I should have probably done some research before so I can remember what these are. But it was cool, okay? It was really awesome. And there was this one thing in particular that I remember that was my favorite, and it was the, if I can recall the name, it was like the Dragon Cave or Dragon's Cave or something like that. It was basically like this cave thing, and I'll probably find a video for you, where it was like, it looked like it was smoking. It's like steam, but it looked like it was smoking. It was making these rumbly sounds, right? And it looked like a dragon's cave, and it sounded like a dragon's cave. It was, and you're like right like nearby it, and you're just hearing this like rumbling and like smoking. It's like, whoa, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. And then I remember we went into this like a town, and there was just like elk all over the place, just like walking around the town. It's like, okay, which another random off-topic story, but I had an elk show up in the backyard like last year. That was weird. I find it very difficult to sort stuff apparently while I'm trying to tell stories. I was trying to think of what I was gonna do while I told my stories. Apparently sorting was not the thing to do. So if you guys have suggestions in your minds, stick them in the comments about where I should do while I tell these fancy tales of tailness. And if you guys want to hear more, leave a like, comment, tell me that you want to hear more stories, and maybe I'll even make them more relaxing. Maybe you'll fall asleep in the middle of my story. Yeah, okay. Alright, I hope you guys did enjoy. Keep waddling on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You should totally check out WeBe Nation. It's a really cool server. You didn't hear that? Goodbye.